And next thing I know, it's about 10:30, and this train goes by going this way towards Fort Worth, a freight. It goes on past, and then it slows down, kind of stops. And I'm not thinking anything of it until next thing I know, it starts backing up, and basically what it's doing is hooking up these cars. And I hear a big when they hook up, you know. If you've never been on a freight train riding, man, jeez, you really feel the steel, you know. It's like just a lot of jarring, kind of, you know, be very bouncy. And anyway, they hook up, and I realize what they're doing. And I'm thinking, well, shit, let's just go for a ride here, you know. I didn't know where they were heading, but I had $13 in my pocket, you know. I said, let's go, man. I just, you know, I was kind of bored sitting there by myself. And as I'm sitting there waiting, I can hear, you know, they're starting to, you know, make movements and stuff up and down the line and stuff. One of the train guys comes by checking the cars, and there I am, and he says, well, what's up, guy? And he was kind of a cool guy, you know. I asked him, where's this train going? And he says, going up to Taylor, Texas. And I said, well, where's that, you know? He said, well, it's about 25 miles out. You know, and I didn't think, what I was going to do when I got to Taylor, Texas, what am I, walk back or something, you know? I just said, okay, let's roll. As it turned out, the next morning we headed out, man, and it was great heading out in the night, you know, and then once they hit out of town, they started to pick up speed. You know, it's like exhilarating, you know. You're out there on the open, you know, just, it's like pretty wild. But anyway, I was tired too. I fell asleep. I woke up the next morning, and we're out there in the boonies somewhere. I guess it must have been Taylor. You know, for all I know, it could have been anywhere. But it was an overcast. It was early September day is what it was. But very overcast and cool. And the same guy comes back, and we're sitting there. Like the train, sometimes you ride a freight, you know, you don't know what's going to happen because they can just all of a sudden stop in the middle of nowhere and sit there for a day or two. I mean, you know, you got to be ready for whatever. But anyway, we're sitting there. This is my first experience with it. And the guy comes back and he says, listen, he says, Fort Worth? And somehow I guess he intuited that I was wanting to get to Fort Worth. And I said, yeah, man. And so he says, okay, well, you want to get off this car and get over to the other one over there because we're unhooking right here. So I got over to the other one. He's very helpful like that. Otherwise, you know, I'd have been stuck, I guess. But I got over to the other one, and pretty soon they headed out. And it took us all day. Finally, towards nighttime, we finally rolled into Fort Worth. So in total, from when I first started here to there, it was about an 18-hour ride, you know. And I lost my water bottle, and you find out you don't want to ever do that, you know. Because once that overcast cleared, it was a hot day, and I remember being, you know, thirsty as I've ever been by the time we got to Fort Worth. I was dying. But these are things you learn, you know, and riding a freight is, you know, kind of like that. But basically, you come into Fort Worth. I don't know if you guys have been to Fort Worth, but those yards, those freight yards coming in by the Amtrak's, pretty rough area, you know, a lot of scary low life and stuff. And I pulled in there, and I didn't know Fort Worth from Shinola, man. And there was a shelter there around that area. You know, they let you say 3 days free, and then you got to pay. Next morning, you know, there's a couple of little labor-ready places I went around, but it didn't look like too attractive to me. And off in the distance, like a shot from The Wizard of Oz or something, I could see downtown Fort Worth, but I never made close up there. And I was lucky enough to where the yard, I just pulled up another train that was heading back this way. I jumped on the third locomotive. A couple old country boys said, yeah, you can ride, just don't fuck with nothing, you know. And I came right back to Austin, you know, the next day, so.